Remember this song? Or this movie clip?
ये आप लोग गलत कर रहे हैं।
टेंशन क्या लेते रहे? चल इसको तैयार कर। ये रामबो,
रानी मेरी। अरे यार।
Now watch this video.
Ideas, working hours and working. So we do get alerts for any malicious signatures that we identified or any connections that are established towards any malicious domain. We'll be getting alerts for those.
This is a video of a virtual job interview. Now if you look closely at the lip movement of the interviewee, you'll find something is off. While his lips are moving, someone else in the room is answering for him. Welcome to the world of online deep fake job interviews.
What was once perceived to be a story for the silver screen has become reality for many corporate investigators who stumble upon lip syncing and real-time deepfake technology. What is essentially happening is that some of the candidates who want to get through some of the toughest jobs in the IT industry or in the tech companies are roping in these consultants and using lip syncing and real-time deepfakes.
So what are the tools and tech used by these candidates to dupe the interviewer?
There are two techniques these days used by candidates to defraud a recruitment process. One is deepfake, where they would use AI and machine learning based libraries such as Fake App and Deepface Lab to stream a video where the person doing the interview is different, but then the face of the person who wants to apply for the job will be superimposed and then passed through a virtual driver of a webcam on the laptop, and then that is used in the Teams or the Zoom app. So you can't recognize who's speaking, and the person will appear to be the one candidate who you want to hire. The other technique is lip syncing. So lip syncing is nothing but somebody who has grown a beard and a mustache where the lips are difficult to read. The person will actually appear for the interview, but the person who's answering the questions during a virtual interview will be the one standing next to him, not visible in the camera, and will be speaking.
Now let's talk about the types of jobs for which such tricks are being used.
The jobs for which these techniques are typically used are mostly jobs where you need remote working or work from home. And typically these are back office roles or IT roles or technology related role where a person can work remotely.
These fraudulent techniques are not just used to get lower level jobs, but even some of the high paying and some of the top level jobs. For instance, we spoke to some of our sources. They tell us that in one cases, the job that was fetched, or the person giving an interview was for the job of a senior director, where the salary could be anywhere around 40 to 50 lakh. In other cases, the jobs could be as high as 75 to 85 lakh. So it is only in some of these high-paying jobs where these sort of nuanced fraudulent techniques are being used.
We have seen people faking in exams, but how come this is so prevalent now?
What has happened in last 1 or 2 years is there is a huge attrition across industry, but the most impacted are the tech companies and the IT companies. The attrition in some of the top companies is as high as 40% in certain teams. So what would happen in such a scenario is that companies are going around interviewing candidates, and they're even accepting some of the terms like work from home, and they're even interviewing them virtually, that is merely on say Zoom or any other such tool. Now, in an ideal situation, one would say that now the things are being normalized and these candidates can be interviewed in person. However, the demand-supply mismatch is such that the recruiters are thinking that, okay, we'll take care of the accuracy of the interview, or we'll take care of the other factors later on, but let us first hire the number of people that we need.
These are not the only kind of frauds that companies are stumbling over.
With work from home, there's also another risk of moonlighting, where employees are taking up multiple jobs. We have seen a case where there are also close to 7 jobs one employee had signed up for.
One may wonder that how could anyone who has got a job in such a manner could perform in a high-pressured environment. However, one of the investigations found that there was an ecosystem that was created around this particular employee. Once he got the job, what he would do is, when initially the job was work from home. So he would manage to rope in 2 other guys who were taking part of his salary and working for him or coding on his behalf. Now, this particular company, about 2-3 months back, said that every employee has to come to office twice or thrice a week. So this senior executive would go to office and merely pretend to work. By the end of the day, he would take his work on a pen drive or a hard drive home and send it back to those same coders who would code for him. Again, he would come to office and put this on his office computer or office machine and claim that he has been working all along. In some cases, some of the employees were working for competitors. These sort of cases started coming in when companies in one way or another called the employee to office, or in some cases they found that similar work was being done for competitor. In one case, at least that we know of, the employee carelessly mailed his boss in one company instead of the other.
How can this be detected and stopped by the companies and the interviewers?
But I think the easiest way this can be done is trying to use a proctor in an interview. So, for example, try and do face-to-face interviews as much as possible, or at least some part of the process should involve a face-to-face discussion where you can assess the candidate. Now, with COVID restrictions slowly being lifted in India, that's become fairly easy. Then there's a challenge of somebody in some remote city or location who cannot travel. In that case, you could tie up with certain proctors or see another employee who's available in that location who can act as a moderator as part of an interview process. So having somebody reliable present with the candidate while the interview is going on is another way of stopping this.